an Iranian who lived in Europe and different countries, some of them are inspired and want to listen to your stories, and understand or see the world maybe also through your eyes. But for my humble being, I think this is the hardest time to speak about historical Iranian Jewish ties. They have arrested in my parents' hometown, the city of Hamadan, city of Esther and Mordechai, and the prophet Habakkuk. They have arrested more than 20-25 people with the accusation of being a spy for Israel. During the woman life freedom movement, we've heard also support from Mr. Netanyahu or Israeli side, but now during this war, he was kind of, he spoke to the Iranian people, which I at that moment find also actually for me it was very good. I've listened to him actually very carefully, but the side effect is, imagine some country attacks you, and the leader of this country who has attacked you is speaking to your people to stand up against your. It is something unnatural, no matter how problematic this anti-Semitism in the Iranian Islamic government is nerving us, is setting us back in the history and making us trouble in the world. But it's simply not. In my opinion, not. It's not using the.
If you get that version, that's certainly all right.
Yeah. I will come back to you again. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. That was great. It's good to see, to hear, what's going on there. Look, this is one of the problems is that to make some progress, there needs to be some changes, and does this sort of make the dialogue harder? Yeah, for now. But it also may open up an opportunity, so I'd be interested to hear some other opinion about that. Anyway, so good to see you, Scotty. Scotty, did you have anything you wanted to relay in terms of what's going on in New York while we've got you here? Because I know you're running around a lot.
Yeah, I am running around. No, it's just predictable and really sad that the national media and so many people who don't live here are, bashing New York for a variety of reasons and say it's finished and worried about rent freezes. And people don't even know what this shit means. Worried about socialism and all of that. And, and
Sharia law.
Here.
They're worried about that.
All the shit. It's really disgusting. So that's all. They don't know anything about, why people voted for him, what actually New York is about, and what it would take to get elected, because we're not electing somebody that's interested in doing, outright socialism or, Sharia law or any of that nonsense. And people just are taking the opportunity to go ahead and continue to dunk on New York City without actually knowing the facts or anything about it. So I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you allow me just to land it. I was already finished, actually.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah,
Go
yes.
for it.
So, and the third aspect I want to talk about is, of course, this German chancellor who was speaking about kind of a dirt work of Germans who's been done with Israelis in Iran. So, and Germany and Iran, they have also special ties, historical ties together. Yeah. Sadly, I think that the Germans is also kind of guilty for, communicating during the Nazi time this Aryan Iran, we are Aryans and we are close, so they have communicated that in the Iranian society. And I think that they are not, they have kind of a responsibility for, you, so starting this once in our, starting, we have Islamic anti-Semitism, we have left anti-Semitism, and we have right anti-Semitism, right parties anti-Semitism. And this third one is based on what they have learned from Germany before the Second World War. Iranian wanted to get rid of Russia and Great Britain, so that was why they kind of oriented themselves to Germany. And that was the side effect. If you want to be a friend of Germany at that time, you had to believe in their kind of ideology. And in their ideology, so in their minds, Iranians were also kind of, their people. So what I find it sad is Germany could actually, and I'm sure that they're going to try it in the midterm, but they could have played a better role to bring Israel and Iran together. At the end of the story, and with that I want to land, this mullahs, this Islamic clerics people, they also belong to our society, like me, like Roya, like you maybe have seen also progressive other Iranian people on your side. So we have kind of, Stone Age Iranians. We have also modern Iranians. Like you have Stone Age Americans and you have modern Americans. You have religious Americans, you have atheist Americans. We have also the same. So if we want to get rid of this enemyship, we have to deal with anti-Semitism on all the three levels I've spoke to you. On the nationalism stage, and on the Islamic level, and also on the left level. So Germany could have helped us with that. Because deeply, I think that Islam, or our Shia, our kind of Islam, needs and will go through a kind of enlightenment. And this very question of anti-Semitism is one of the key questions we have to deal in our society on long term and throughout long decades of education for the children and the youth who are now studying, or those who were going to study in the future. So I think that Germany can help us on that, because they have actually very good relationship with Israel, and also they had once very close ties with Iran. At the end of the story, making it short, we had an attack. We do not know if it was effective enough. We had a herd society who are now sensitive for anti-Western, we are more sensitive of anti-Western feelings, and we have the situation that I think some parts of Iranian society, some part of Iranian military think tanks, they are giving their damn best to build kind of, dirty bombs, or kind of a weaponry with which they can spread fears. Those who maybe wants to attack Iran each couple of months again. So we had actually, I don't know if it was a very good idea to do all that. I might be wrong. This is all my personal thoughts, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Well, thanks, Bruce. And look, it's very important. We really enjoy hearing your take on the situation. As everybody in here knows, we're not here to display a breadth of different types of opinions. We're here, we have a community of people with a pretty much similar worldview. And we're somewhat proudly an echo chamber. I don't want to spend this room or this house, waste any time arguing with maggots or people from the right. That's for another room in another place. But we had actually, I think in the chat there were a couple of Iranians that were trying to come up, which we usually don't let anybody up unless we know them well. So that's where that is. But also, I'm aware that this is a very well. First of all, Parisian has a very an opinion that lines up directly with most everybody here, and it may not be a majority opinion in Iran or even in the diaspora. But he's like doing the good fight, as they say, for democracy and for freedom and for dialogue between Muslims and Jews, which is very important and close to my heart. And I want to thank him for that because, I work a lot with what seems to be a lost cause, like the anti-Trump Republicans. How many of them are there? There are a lot more than you would think, but how many are sticking their head out is a whole other thing. And I also recently, because I've been trying to see, my sister has been very involved for many years with the Peace Now movement in Israel. And I've been directed to a couple of organizations that I hoped existed, but I just wasn't aware of them. And one of them is called Realign for Palestine.